as you are cleaning your beans, basically you want to go through your beans and make sure there's no rocks. Any beans that possibly look abnormal or things like that, dirt and such, you want to just kind of go through them and make sure they're all uniform. This one looks rather peculiar to me. Not to say that it was a bad one. That just means that it looked abnormal to me. So you just want to go through your beans and make sure there's no abnormalities, no rocks, foreign matter. Like this one right here, it doesn't look too hot. So of course we're not going to cook that guy. We're not going to cook him either. And we're going to simply clean them. And we're going to allow them to soak in some water overnight. And we're going to add them to our meat in the morning. Our beans are cleaned and they're going to be soaked in about 6 to 8 ounces, 6 to 8 cups of water to 1 bag of red beans. So I actually cleaned about a pound and a half. So I put about 12 cups of water, between, I want to say about 10, 12 cups, something like that, to a bag and a half of beans. But we're also going to add a ham shank to our crock pot here, and we're going to allow that to cook overnight on high. What we're going to do is we're going to simply just take this and wash it. This is the way your shank should look. So we're just going to simply wash this. It's 11:04 in the p.m. and we're going to simply allow this to cook. Okay. I'm going to simply put enough water in here to simply cover that. We're going to put it on high and we're going to cook that overnight. Okay, family. It is now in the a.m. Our beans have been soaking all night. Our meat has been going all night. And these are the ingredients that you're going to use to make your Cajun red beans and rice. Now, there is a difference between red lima beans and red small beans. Red lima beans, they swell up and they kind of cream when you cook with them. As opposed to the red small beans, they kind of keep their shape. The red lima beans have a little bit more calories to them and they absorb the juices and stuff really good. Whereas the small red beans, they kind of keep its form and they're a little bit more, what I want to say? I want to say maybe coarser. I'm trying to choose my words wisely, but it's a couple different differences. But for the most part, depending on who you ask, some people use red limas and some people use small red beans. In this particular case, I'm using small red beans. I do have my sausage here in the back. I'm going to put 2 packages of sausage in there, being that I have a bag and a half of red beans. We have celery. We have a bay leaf. We have chopped garlic, parsley flakes, Cajun seasoning, bell pepper, and a white onion. Let's go. You want to begin sauteing your bell pepper, your yellow onion, and your celery. I cut it up super duper fine, and we're going to saute those guys. Once it begins to cook really well, I'm going to add a little bit of the minced garlic in there once that's done. Okay, our beans have been soaking overnight. This is simply our ham shank. I'll pour that in there. And let's begin seasoning it. We're going to put a full bay leaf inside of here. We're going to take some parsley flakes. Basically, you're seasoning this to taste. Now, for me, I'm not much on, okay, a tablespoon of this, a teaspoon of that. Sometimes, yes, but when you've done something for a while, and these are parsley flakes, you just kind of eyeball it. When you've done it for a while, you don't need to go through such extremes. You just kind of put it together the way you like, okay? And some Cajun seasoning. A little black pepper, just a little bit. I don't like to really put black pepper into my beans because it truly changes up its taste. But we're going to just put just a little bit. Not enough to do a whole lot, but just a little something, something, something. I have my sausage all cut up, so we're going to put them in the refrigerator because we don't add them into our dish until it's about 3/4 of the way done, and it's not, so let's put this in the fridge. You're going to allow this to cook the remaining portion of the time. You're going to test your pot liquor and test it to see what it's tasting like and what you might need to add to it. Probably need some more Cajun seasoning or some seasoning salt. But we're going to let this cook down for about 3 hours. Family, I've had a full day. I've made greens. Tioni made cornbread. We have pork chops, red beans and rice. From my family to yours. Bon appetit, family. You guys have a good night.